Let's take a look at multiple undos. For this exercise, we're going to start with a blank new document. So File New. And let's go with the iPad size. So I'll just name this iPad, and I'll switch the width to pixels, and the height also switches. So let's make this wider than it is tall, 1024, and I'm pressing the Tab key to jump down by 768. We'll leave the resolution at 72 pixels per inch just to keep our file size down. Color mode of RGB is fine, and background contents of white is good. Now click OK. And we have a blank document. I'm going to have you go to your Tools panel on the left and click the Brush tool. Power users can also hit the letter B for brush. Once you choose a tool, it stays active until you select a different tool. We could see our brush size is 13, and that's fine. And I'm simply going to mark the image anywhere. I just clicked and dragged. I can dial my brush size up by sliding size up a little bit. I landed on 30, but you can go to any size you'd like. And I'll mark the image again. We're doing this to practice undos and redos. So I'll make a few more marks. I've got 5 total. If you use Edit Undo, it only undoes one thing. Edit Redo redoes the last thing that you did or the last brushstroke that you made on the document. So if you'd like to undo more than one time, choose Edit, Step Backward. Edit, Step Backward. And that is your multiple undo path. In fact, for the power users, I prefer a shortcut. You'll see the shortcuts under your Edit menu. So for the Mac users, this is Option Command Z. On Windows, it's Control Alt Z. So I can try that. Command Option Z, Command Option Z. Undid twice. If you're on Windows, it's Control Alt Z and Control Alt Z again. So you simply add the Alt key in to do more than one undo. On the Mac, you're adding in the Option key to your regular undo shortcut to undo more than once. And if we look, Edit, Step Forward will redo multiple times. So on a PC, I can hit Control Shift Z to go forward. On a Mac, it would be Command Shift Z. So here we go. Command Z is one undo or redo, but in this case isn't going to do anything. Command Option Z is multiple undo. And I just hit it 5 times. Command Shift Z is multiple redo. For the Windows users, Control Z will undo once, and in this case it's not going to do anything. Control Alt Z goes backward more than one step at a time. Control Shift Z goes forward more than one step at a time. That may be way too many shortcuts for the new folks, so feel free to use the menus. A lot more people have visual memory, and getting used to the program is difficult enough, so feel free to use Edit, Step Forward, and Backward. I really wish they were named Multiple Undo. Photoshop didn't have multiple undos when it was first created, and it was added over 10 years ago, but a lot of people assume it only undoes one thing because they know the shortcut and they hit Control Z or Command Z and it only undoes one. It's those extra keys that let you undo more than once or redo more than once or step forward to redo more than once. In fact, Photoshop comes with 20 undos out of the box, but you can go all the way up to 1,000 undos. On the PC, all of your preferences will be under the Edit menu towards the bottom. On the Mac, Photoshop Preferences and Performance. So if you're watching on Windows, go to your Edit menu. on the right is history states. That is your history panel yet. What is that, Kelly? Let me show you. But there is an explanation in description here if you pause over history states. It gives you more detail about what history and cache does. So feel free to pause here or read this on your own screen. So history states to 40 and you'll get more undos. The history panel is another way that many people have discovered multiple undos. And if you don't see it on your screen, under the window menu is history. So when I bring up the history panel, I'm stretching it from the bottom, and you could see our new document creation and 5 brushstrokes. So I could click to go back 3 brushstrokes, or go back to 1 brushstroke, or bring all 5 back. I'm clicking on the name of what I did. For example, the brush tool. Switch to the eraser tool and made a mark through everything, you'd see the eraser. If I switch to the Dodge tool, which will lighten, you'll see Dodge tool. But if I want to go all the way back to a clean canvas, I click on the word New. This on an image will be your file name. So I'm not even going to save this document because it was just practice for undo and redo. So the goal with this video was to let you know where your multiple undos are located. If you're a power user like me and you love shortcuts, to expose you to those shortcuts so you can practice with them and play with them. To increase your number of undos under your preferences and performance. And to see that you can also click to go back many steps at once using the history panel, which is under Window and History. So try this exercise a few times on your own. And if you're new to Photoshop, feel free to not do the shortcuts and just use step forward and backward. If you're a power user and you didn't know about the shortcuts, feel free to use those. And happy undoing!